My parents tried to give my inheritance to their favorite son, but my grandparents had a surprising twist in store. Growing up, it was always painfully obvious that my parents had a favorite child, my younger brother Mark. While I, the eldest, had to work for everything, Mark was handed whatever he wanted on a silver platter. If I wanted something, I had to earn it. If Mark wanted something, my parents made sure he got it. I always figured this favoritism would carry on into adulthood, but I never expected it to extend to something as big as my inheritance. My grandparents were the only ones who truly treated me and Mark equally. They helped pay for my college, encouraged me to pursue my passions, and always made me feel valued. When they passed away, I was heartbroken, but I found some comfort in knowing they had left behind a will that would take care of both of us. Or so I thought. After the funeral, my parents sat me and Mark down to discuss the inheritance. That's when they dropped a bombshell. Dad, we've decided it would be best if Mark got most of the inheritance. You're independent, you have a job, and you don't really need it. Mark, on the other hand, is still figuring things out. He could really use the money to get a good start in life. I stared at them, stunned. My grandparents had always talked about splitting everything equally between us. This didn't make any sense. Me. That's not what Grandma and Grandpa wanted. They told me everything would be divided fairly. My parents exchanged a look. Well, we're the executors of the estate, and we think this is the best decision. I was furious, but instead of arguing, I decided to do something smarter. I checked the will myself. I reached out to my grandparents' lawyer and requested a copy of the will. What I found left me shocked. Not only had my grandparents explicitly stated that everything should be split 50/50 between me and Mark, but they had also included a separate letter addressed to me. In the letter, my grandmother wrote, "If you're reading this and something doesn't feel right, trust your instincts. We love you, and we know how things have always been between you and your parents. That's why we made sure our lawyer was aware of our wishes. If anyone tries to alter this will, take the matter to court immediately. Love, Grandma and Grandpa." Armed with this knowledge, I confronted my parents. When I told them I had a copy of the will and the lawyer on my side, their faces drained of color. "Mom, you wouldn't take this to court, would you? That's family money." Me, and half of it is mine, just like Grandma and Grandpa wanted. They tried to guilt trip me, but I didn't budge. I took the matter to the lawyer, who ensured the will was executed as written. My parents had no legal grounds to change it, and Mark wasn't getting a dime more than what he was originally entitled to. Now, my parents barely speak to me, and Mark sulks whenever we're in the same room, but honestly, I don't care. My grandparents saw what was coming and made sure I was protected, and for that, I'll always be grateful.